Hello, collective. This is Ellie of Herbcraft by Ellie Apothecary. Here with another collective timeless tarot reading. A tarot quest for the collective. This is a timeless message. However, I'm recording it under the Libra moon. It is almost the new moon in Libra. It will be in the morning. So I will be releasing this in the afternoon. So the new moon will be very relevant. If you are a Patreon member, I will be sharing the video full form version of this quest later when I launch. That is a work in progress. I'm going to put a timestamp in the description box in case you want to skip ahead. So I will do my best to translate this into video and audio formats. Alright, I do call every card out to you. I'm working with the Herbcrafters Tarot to start. Doing an intuitive read. I'm a psychic medium empath, a professional astrologer, an advocate. And for those of you that care, I have in my big 3 Pisces Sun, Cancer Rising, Taurus Moon. I talk about my astrology a lot to help other people understand more about it. Anyways, let's rock and roll this, yeah? Thank you to everyone who had the patience to wait for this reading. I talked about that in my last channeled message and prose piece, which was: your past is the compost for your most beautiful garden. It's really beautiful. Check it out if you'd like. Alright, so we have a few different cards here that are coming out. Before I got started, Ace of Wands was at the bottom, upright. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. Thank you to those of you that like to kick back with the long form version of this, and for those of you that like to kick back with the shorter form, you're awesome too. Thanks so much. Ace of Wands or Ace of Fire just came out again. Interesting. Alright, let's see here. So I'll take a deep breath if you can, and then I'm going to chime my bell to just cleanse everyone's energy. All these messages are for the highest and greatest good and the highest and greatest good of all. I am a channel and I channel and share my own experience. I'm a spiritual guide. Just get some tarot oil in my hands. All right, everyone, deep breath in. And out. Bell. I have no idea what the vibe's going to be for today. We'll see what Spirit wants to talk about. Alright, so 4 cards on the top. We have Adelaida of Fire, 5 of Air, the Moon, 5 of Cups in reverse. second row, we have Ten of Cups, Curandera of Water, which is King of Cups, Nine of Wands in reverse, Two of Air, and Madre of Air in reverse, which is Queen of Swords in reverse. Next row, Eight of Water, Ace of Fire, and Eight of Fire. I'm going to read into this and see what we have going on. Go ahead and get your favorite beverage or snack if you're checking out the long form version of this. Did I mention that it's a new moon in Libra in the morning? Yes, I might have. So this is going to have like new moon energies with it. Let's see. Knight of Wands, Five of Swords, the Moon, Five of Cups in reverse. Someone has been fighting something in the dark that used to make them very sad or despondent. Could be some kind of mental battle. It could be a spiritual battle. Something deep, subconscious. It's for this like ultimate wish fulfillment with others. Ten of Cups, King of Cups, emotional mastery, putting an end to woundedness with the Nine of Fire, making a decision about toxic patterns that are no longer, walking away towards a very passionate new beginning, traveling towards something. I'm feeling a very uncomfortable energy, I'm not gonna lie. It's a very hesitant energy. It's a little uncomfortable. I'm guessing that this is not something some of you are very comfortable with dealing with, which, you know, emotional, mental, spiritual, all that internal work is going to make you feel a little tense at times, but it seems like there's endings of things here to go towards a really nice new beginning. So it seems like whatever work that made you uncomfortable, I think just maybe it being brought up is making you feel even more uncomfortable, which makes sense. But that's usually a symbol of more work to be done. I'm gonna pull, let's see here. Who do we want to pull from? Like Cosmic Energy Oracle. Collaboration. Collaboration achieves greater goals. So for some of you, this is about working with others, something you've worked on to work with others. For some of you, this is about a happy family, home life, or community. Interesting. Cleansing came out in reverse. Cleanse your mind and spirit, remove negative energies. So it being in reverse is telling me that you have been working on that. You've been cycling out of old energy to step into some kind of collaboration or family unit or harmony. Harmony is the beautiful melody in relationships. So you can be in harmony with others. And one more oracle. Awareness. Maintain awareness, be present in every moment. It's a beautiful card. To become more aware. Yeah, let's leave that there. Okay, sure, you can come out. What is that? Yeah, you're done resting, whoever you are. That is the Four of Air. So, Swords. You have meditated long enough on something. Seems like you've been working on yourself for a while. Justice at the bottom, and on the split, Five of Fire in reverse. So, some kind of justice you received through this fight that you went through. Queen of Wands. It made you very attractive, overcoming these burdens or obstacles. Nine of Water. Personal wish fulfillment, still on the bottom. It's pretty. Four of Wands. High Priestess trying to pop out. Something you know about. Three of Air. We'll take that. Two of Earth. Juggling something. The Tower. Juggling something while in a tower. Oh, that sounds like a great old time. Kind of like being in an earthquake. I'm not wishing that on anybody, so, you know, let's not go there. High of Fire. And the Empress. Interesting. High is the Page of Wands. You want to communicate something to an Empress, it seems, or communicate about your Empress status. Something you have learned to become more whole, more nurtured, more comfortable, some kind of new path. This could be what you want to communicate here with the Eight of Wands or Eight of Fire. I am working on getting the glare better for those of you watching the video version. Yeah, there's something you want to communicate about this new beginning. Okay. The Sun in reverse. Ways that you have not been happy before. High of Earth with the Ten of Earth. Okay, so investments from beginning to end, because Ten of Pentacles is like ultimate wish fulfillment, tons of abundance, right? Very lush. And this is something that didn't make you very happy. Put a lot of work into something. And of course, we were talking about the emotional, the spiritual, the mental, all that. But it's more than that. It seems like for some of you, you may have only focused on manifesting the tangible, the physical, right? Maybe you were just very focused on building your career and something about it didn't make you very happy. What do we have to say about that? Yeah, again, the Queen of Wands. You're able to create your own reality. You're really good at whatever you do. You shine at it. Other people recognize you. Again, very attractive, very charismatic, very fiery. So it seems like you did focus on some kind of career path, is what I'm getting. The Hermit, yeah, or some kind of study. Again, mastery of self could also be a huge factor here, right? And if you master the self, you're going to become an empress and an emperor, the highest ranking energies in the tarot, next to, of course, the spiritual authorities above them. So that's a mastery of the divine feminine. And if the Emperor comes out, that's a mastery of the divine masculine. Eight of Earth. Yes, you have done the work. I love it when the cards come out exactly as I say them. We have 888 at the bottom here, which is infinite possibilities, abundance. It also rules the 8th house, which is ruled by Pluto, which rules Scorpio. I don't typically call out zodiac signs because this isn't sign specific, but if I am talking about a certain energy that I see, I will bring it up. And if it applies to you, by all means, apply it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're very financially stable. You have a comfortable life you've been building. And if this doesn't apply to you, that's okay. It may not be your message, but we're going to see where we go with this. 4 of Cups. For me, I feel like that's for one, emotional stability too. Some kind of group of friends that you can hang out with. This particular version. Let me get this. Looks like taking a break, having tea, hanging out with friends or family. But the absence of actual people in this card kind of tells me that it's like you're kind of waiting for your tribe. Yeah, 3 of Pentacles. Working together, collaborating with others. We pulled the collaboration card, right? Where was it? Right here. Okay. So it's possible, like, while, I mean, you were in hermit mode. We have the Hermit here. While you were studying, while you were mastering yourself, and it seems like your finances and other things, you've kind of been wondering where your soul tribe is, and that could be in any facet. I mean, 10 of Cups doesn't necessarily have to be a physical family or union, but it typically is. But it's whatever you consider your happily ever after, right? Temperance, exactly. What gives you balance? We were talking about harmony, right? Kind of environment, what kind of people, or you found temperance in this process. You've also found a higher power, or you are a spiritual teacher yourself, a spiritual guide, some kind of higher spiritual authority for some of you. The Hierophant. You've really built yourself up to something. You've created some kind of hierarchy and system for yourself, and you've done really well, it seems. Hello. Adelita of Water, Knight of Cups. But you want to offer your cup of love. I think you're just, it seems like you may be, whoever these people are that I'm reading for right now, seems like you could be just waiting for the last pieces to fall in. It's like you went out and accomplished what you set to accomplish. Wow, 10 of Wands. You put in a lot of effort and a lot of work. that. Let's see if we can get that on there. A lot of effort. It was a labor of love, because usually the Ten of Wands is like a you know, a huge burden. It's not very comfortable, and it's after a lot of struggle. King of Air, Curandera of Air, King of Swords. What is this about, Spirit? Adelita of Earth. So, Yucca, or Yucca, excuse me if I pronounce that wrong. This deck has a bunch of different herbs on it. For those of you catching the ASMR version, I always share in the community blog pictures of the cards that kind of tell the story, you know. So that's Knight of Pentacles. It's been taking you a long time to communicate something because you've been very strategic. Again, using that systematic way of being I'm sensing for some of you. Yeah, Haya of Air. You've been watching, you've been waiting. Again, studying for some of you. You could be studying a situation, you could be studying another craft, you could be studying a person, you could be studying a job opportunity. Ace of Pentacles, you've been studying some kind of huge opportunity. It's a blessing from Spirit, most likely a material or material and spiritual one. That's yeah, that's definitely something to study, your ultimate foundation. I'm hearing for some of you, because you were very focused on the Ten of Pentacles, and you're talking about that not making you very happy, and I wonder if it's having to do with sharing it with others. I mean, we did get collaborations, and that could be friends, that could be romantic, it could be anything really. Tell me more about the Ace of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, Spirit's saying for some of you it's definitely love, because they just gave you an Ace of Cups, an Ace of Water. It's also about loving yourself. I mean, we have two aces right after each other, and this has been all about like learning to love yourself, create some kind of stability, and Spirit helped you accomplish this. For some of you, this is past energy where you may have already received the blessings, and that's why you want to share it with others, it seems. I'm hearing for some of you. And for some of you, you're coming into this because of the hard work you've done. It just depends on what timeline you're on as to if you've received your blessing or not. Either way, if you have done this work on yourself, it is a blessing. It's a blessing to yourself and to others. Yeah, and you've got out of your head about it. We have the Eight of Swords here, and it was in reverse. So you opened the gate, you walked through, you closed the gate behind you, and let things be as they are meant to be. You see these huge weeds coming up out of the ground. It's like just leaving things behind. I'm getting a little bit of Eight of Cups energy with this as well. And again, now we have all eights here. So 8888, look up the angel number. It might have significance to you. That is also about ultimate abundance in every aspect that you could think of. Infinite possibilities. And we were talking about the 8th house earlier. Interesting. We were talking about Pluto energies, which is transformation. It's also hidden. It's the occult. It's the taboo. It's the deep. We just got justice in reverse. There's two streams coming in here. I'm getting for some of you, you are waiting for your justice to be served. or someone has just received their justice. I don't know what that means for each and every one of you. I would have to do a personal reading in order to go deeper in that, but I can just pull one card here. Mother of Earth, Madre of Earth, that's Queen of Pentacles. For some of you, becoming this stable, comfortable person has made it to where you can be generous to others. Therefore, you have brought balance to the scales of justice for others, possibly by changing your behavior and becoming a more stable, graceful, nurturing person. And for some of you, you went through this journey and it made you into this person who has this stability that wasn't there before, and now you can offer it to others. Maybe you didn't feel like you had anything to offer before. And for some of you, the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups could be what you want to offer another, and Spirit is giving that. Let's look into this Ten of Cups a little more, which is rolled by Red Clover, by the way. Okay. Tell me more about the Ten of Cups, Spirit. Well, it's something you've been planning on with the Two of Fire or Two of Wands. It's something you knew you had to choose which path to take, right? And it looks like you are getting ready to plant some seeds to like set your intentions, and we just pulled the World card. Some kind of plan that required you to close some major cycle. I'm getting that for some of you this was like, I don't know, I'm sensing a decade. I don't know why that's coming through, but 10 years. Some kind of cycle that has been going on for 10 years. Give or take a couple of years. That's just for some of you. Seven of Air. Now this is such a pretty card for those of you looking at the video version. I might do some of the shorter form in video. We'll see. It's almost like an essential oil manufacturer, like an old school one. If anybody knows what that is, feel free to put it in the comments. Usually this card is about ghosting and walking away from things, but it can also represent strategy yet again. Oh, yeah, got the Hanged One or Burdock Root. Card of sitting still, meditating, thinking, transforming. For some of you, I understand that this plan required some kind of sacrifice that you had to be really strategic about. I'm picking that up for some of you. For others of you, you had to think about how you put others on hold to do what you wanted to do. So for some of you, I'm getting that perhaps one reason you felt like you weren't worthy enough. Wow, yeah, Ten of Air. Some kind of betrayal. Possibly it was a self-betrayal, or you betrayed somebody or somebody betrayed you. Place it how it fits. I'm just getting a side note here that for some of you, you had a tendency of kind of running away and disappearing into your work. But it seems like this is something you have worked on, and now you can be more present for others with the Queen of Pentacles. You've also been like working hard and slowly towards, and wow, yeah, we just pulled the Curandera of Earth. That's the King of Pentacles. So you're not only the Queen of Pentacles, you're also the King of Pentacles, and that is the most stable, wealthy, spiritually grounded, most mature, practical person. It's not just materialistic, but you set out some goals and you did accomplish them, and you're very stable. And with both the King and the Queen here, it seems like you know how to receive, and you also know how to be generous. So you probably, I mean, you have the Ten of Pentacles here. Man, I'm going to have to grab another deck. This is getting messy. Oh, right. We also had the Ace of Wands. Let's not forget. So we have, this is your next new beginning. You had the material for some of you with the Ace of Pentacles, and you had the Ace of Cups. So it's like you've been building your life essentially for some of you. And some of you are still doing that. And this is like, this is your inspiration right now. This reading or these ideas, these passion projects that you've been thinking of working on that are making you feel stable. That's what this Ace of Wands is. It's not about another person. For you, you're a little bit on another timeline to the people who have already done it. Let those people be inspiration so you know you can have it too. As long as you continue to be steadfast and move towards your goals. We had yet again the Knight of Pentacles somewhere over here. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but anyways, so let's see what else about those of you that are, what is that? Six of Pentacles. I love that Six of Pentacles. The cozy bonfire in the back with the pine tree line and the table of like handwritten notes and pine needles and pine cones. Looks like a bunch of people getting together writing like Christmas letters or something around the holidays, something like that, or just doing some kind of cozy activity. Again, equal give and take. It's like somebody builds up and maintains the fire, somebody provides the crafts, somebody is the homeowner. I don't know. It's like some, again, collaboration, and this could be with one other person, or it could be what you learned how to do with others. And it's also about equal give and take, which is necessary in a community. Wow. Okay. We just got the Emperor. I told you we were going to get that earlier. We have the embodiment of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So whoever you are both the Emperor and the Empress. And for some of you, you are also looking for your Emperor or Empress. Gender doesn't matter in tarot, so it doesn't, you could be in a different phase in your life. You could be more receptive or you could be more active. But this is implying that for those that have created this foundation for themselves, you are in complete harmony and balance with yourself, which means you're not only a divine feminine or masculine who can embody both, but you're a divine being. You're like next level. You're also the Hierophant. So whoever you are, you have a very high spiritual authority, and you're no joke. So congratulations on your success. I hope that you continue to inspire others, and you're going to get your new beginning. We got the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, and also we had the King of Cups, which is somebody who loves another person deeply. Oh, there's the Knight of Pentacles. There's the King of Cups right there, Curandera of Water. I've talked about this card last spring, I want to say. You've had some deep spiritual healing. For some of you, I feel like you're ready for a vacation. You're ready for some kind of retreat or some kind of resort. Not like hibernating and studying, but just like enjoying life, comforting. But this could be also what you want to do for others. You want to be this nurturing, loving support. And the King of Cups is actually, you know, it being a water sign, is more feminine in nature. But the thing about the King of Cups is they are very reserved. They're kind of stoic. Like, you wouldn't really know how deep their emotions run unless you got to know them and they decided to let you in, right? So you're ready for this. You embody this. You also embody the most practical kings and queens. You're able to give and receive. You have the Six of Pentacles, which is also, and you've been working very diligently here with the Nine of Pentacles, right? You know how to work your craft. What can we tell these people? Actually, I think I'm going to switch up the deck in a moment. Before we get into like the whole love narrative, because I do feel like that's going down that road. I want to know just a little bit more about what you learned about the material that didn't make you happy. What is it that you learned other than lessons? Obviously, I just saw the Four of Wands at the bottom. Awakening, judgment. Nine of Cups. I think I'm getting a download. One moment. You were judged on whether your personal wish fulfillment was more important than whatever else you had going on in your life. Adelaide of air. Yeah. Maybe having to do with how you communicate with others. Maybe you had to work on your communication to become a more grounded, stable, and loving person. Or for you, it's how you deliver the message. Yeah, it could also be some kind of unhealthy habit here that made you not communicate well. This could be a temptation. This could be an addiction. This could be a really toxic way of behaving. This could also be illusions. This could be environments. It could be other people that acted this way and you responded possibly not very kindly. For some of you, that feels like more of a side message, but it could apply. So it seems like for some of you, perhaps you didn't have the patience to deal with other people as much as you would have liked because of whatever was going on in your exterior environment. Seven of Cups. Yeah, there were a lot of people involved in this. I'm hearing 7 to 10 at least. Usually 7 of Cups is about options and all that. This implies some kind of busyness, some kind of different potentials here. Perhaps you had a lot of options. I'm not judging, I'm just saying it's possible you did. Whether you were available or not, I can't say, and I'm not going to tap into that. But it seems like some of you had choices, whatever that means to you. And it could be choices on how you could act. It could be choices on who you engage with. Choices on different career opportunities or different things you had going on in your life that you wanted to invest in. Wow. The Chariot. Some kind of journey you were on. For a lot of you, I feel like this is a spiritual journey. 5 of Fire. Yeah, this was a fight. This was a competition. For some of you, it's possible that the competition was really steep with whatever your career is, and it may have caused you to kind of lash out at people because of the high pressure and like move really quickly on things, maybe be a little impulsive. We did get the Knight of Wands at the very beginning, and that did kind of seem like past energies. Nine of Cups. Personal wish fulfillment, yet again. Come on. There we go. Yeah, you were fighting for what you wanted for your personal happiness, and there's nothing wrong with that. We all have to invest in ourselves and make sure we're stable within ourselves, but I think sometimes what can happen with people is they get into commitments that they aren't ready for, they want to be ready for, but they just can't invest in it the same. And possibly you were spread a little too thin. And that's for some of you. For others of you, What about this Nine of Cups? Wow, the Star in reverse. Maybe because you were so focused on your what you wanted for yourself that you weren't doing the healing. Okay, we talk about the shadow here, and we talk about working through it and working through spiritual awakenings. So just know that this is for guidance. It's not to shame you or put you on blast, but if you overcame these things, that's something to be really proud of. What about the people that overcame these things? How did they work on their healing? Four of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Okay. So for some of you, you really held back on some things. For some of you, you held on tight to, I just heard, I'm getting download, for the ultimate love, your match, who you truly are inside this Queen of Cups here. Remember, we pulled the King of Cups for you. So, like, you never stopped holding on to the idea of this love or becoming a completely loving person. With the combination, again, we have the masculine and feminine energies for divine masculine, divine feminine, with the Emperor, the Empress, the King and Queen of Pentacles and Cups. Okay? So for some of you, this was your motivation to heal, and for others of you, you really held on tight to what you were doing. It's possible some of you knew whatever situation you were in was not going to be long term, but you settled. I think everybody's done that at some point in their life. Wow, that's way too many cards. I'll pull the top one though. Awakening, judgment, spiritual awakenings, or you became aware. You became aware. This is judgment in the traditional tarot. It's possible this spiritual awakening is what kind of broke you out of that. I believe we saw earlier the Two of Pentacles with the Tower, so you were juggling a lot in the middle of a tower. Wow, Six of Wands, but you were extremely successful. That had to be a hard battle. I mean, you're out of the Nine of Wands, you've come to the Ten of Wands, but it looks like it's a labor of love, right? So going back to those that, this is about, wow, okay. Yeah, no, we're not going to take half the deck. Somebody has a lot to share, but we're not going to go. Four of Pentacles came out again. Interesting. I don't even remember sticking that back in the deck. You'll have to go back, but it's in reverse now. No joke, right? We had the Four of Pentacles you were really holding on to, but you figured out how to let it go. For some of you, you learned how to, I don't know, be less possessive, because this can be a card of being kind of possessive. For some of you, perhaps you want to think on ways that you may have held on too tight to relationships, or possessions, or certain ways of being that didn't make you very stable and may have created blocks in your love life. That can be very stubborn holding on to things too. So, you know, letting go is emphasized there. And then we got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, which is kind of like the World card we had earlier, right? I'm not even going to try to find it in this mess. And the Sun card. There's a lot of circular emphasis here. We had the Moon earlier. This is about cycles. This is an end to karmic cycles. This could be read negatively or positively or whatever. But I'm sensing with this is about no more karmic cycles, no more karmic relationships. Like, you stopped, you invested in yourself, you got out of these toxic behaviors, and some of you, you're working on it, and that's freaking fabulous. Good job. I'll pull one more card on that, and then for those of you that are more interested in this Ten of Cups, Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, like sounds like your happy new beginning. If we get the Ace of Swords, well then you are fully ready to embody this magic, because that means you are the magician. Let's see. No. Oh, we got the Queen of Cups in reverse now. That's interesting. Okay, some of you don't like what I have to say and you still are doing the work. And that's okay, because this message is about healing. And we never stop healing. There's always things to work on with the soul. So that can either be a huge burden to you, or it can be something that you are empowered by. The choice is yours. I think a lot of people, I just saw death right there. It's the end to some things, the end of certain behaviors, of certain thoughts, transformation. Some of you are at the beginning of your spiritual awakenings and you're still not ready to hear this. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. Some of you are still learning how to transmute a lack mindset into an abundance mindset. Now listen, some of you out there have thought, mentioned, spoken on that toxic positivity is not helpful. That's not toxic positivity. That's using the laws of the universe to manifest. It's a totally different thing. Lack mindset is when you look at everything as happening to you. High Priestess card. Some of you already know this intuitively. Some of you are holders of secret information from the universe. Some of you are very psychic. You understand what I'm saying. But for some of you, it's about a lack mindset. It's about feeling like a victim, like life is happening to you, instead of feeling empowered and knowing that no matter what, you can get through any hardship. This card is also the minor to the Hierophant. Okay? This is, you can go one of two ways with the Five Pentacles. You can be left out in the cold, or you can walk in the freaking structure, the safe space, and decide to put in the work to become the Ten of Pentacles. And for a lot of the people, you've already figured this out, but there are some people here who haven't, and that's okay. This is something you can work on. How can these energies work on this, Spirit? Haya of Water. Page of Cups. Some of you just need to... This can represent your inner child. I mean, this card is very inner child, right? Some inner child healing. Perhaps doing something you used to love when you were a child that made you feel good, made you feel nurtured. There's something, if you put your mind to it, you will find something. For some of you, this is about, if you do have children, spending more quality time with your children, or thinking about your youth. It's about looking back at how you were and seeing how far you've come, right? And for some of you, you just need better friends. You need better friends, because this can represent friendship, and you need somebody that you can feel safe with. So for some of you, this is about finding a relationship that suits that part of you that needs more nurturing, but you got to do it with yourself first, right? All right, let's see here. I think we're going to do this love portion and kind of cut out of here. I thank you everyone for being here so far, and if you are not subscribed, I'd love it if you did. I'm going to clear the table here. If you like the music, my Spotify profile is linked in the description box, along with all the links you could possibly desire for personal readings, pre-recorded messages, whatever. Let's use the Luna editions. Six of Wands on the bottom. So for those of you that are looking for partnership or looking for your happily ever after, whether it's your first time around the block or your second or your third, or, you know, it's never been a priority, but now it is. Doesn't matter what part of the journey you're on. This is the group of folks that know they want it, know that they have the blessings of it coming towards them. I'd like to know, I feel like there's a couple of groups here. One is a group that knows who their person is. Can get a card for that. And then I feel like there is a group here of people who don't know who their person is, but they'd like to have this opportunity. And again, whatever your happily ever after is going to depend on what fulfills you. And if you already have the Nine of Cups, you already have personal wish fulfillment, and you've learned from other behaviors, like, what can we say about that? And I would like to pull a third card here that kind of is like Spirit showing what you all have in common, whether you know or don't. Death from Spirit. No, that's not literal, so come on now. It's a big change. Both groups have made a huge change, and if you look at this card, there is a despondent figure in stone below Death, and Death's kind of like, hey, how's it going? You alright over there? It's gonna be okay, you know? So, you know, Spirit's telling you that this change, you've made some concrete changes, and Spirit's there for you. Spirit's there for you no matter what life looks like, okay? So, the group that knows who your person is, we pulled... I love it when Spirit does magic tricks. We pulled Queen of Cups. We pulled the Mother of all love right there. So yes, you do know who your Queen of Cups is. You know, again, you can flip the roles, however. Yeah, that's so perfect. And that's a beautiful Queen of Cups card. I love the Art Nouveau style. Alright, for those of you that don't know, wow. For those of you that don't know, the Empress. Wow. we honestly couldn't have pulled two more perfect cards, but those of you that don't know, you're looking for your Empress, you're looking for your Divine Feminine. Again, it could be any kind of relationship you want. It could be, just apply it. It's the traits of the cards, not the gender representation, okay? So I guess we're going to do kind of something different here. We'll do 2 or 3 piles here. One for Spirit, one for those that know who your person is, and one, the ones who are open-minded and looking to see what happens. All right, Spirit, so what can you give advice to the people that know, people that don't know, and what you have to say to both? All right, let's see. For those that you know, 9 of Wands. Interesting. Knight of Wands. You've really fought hard for this person, for those of you that know who your person is. You really fought hard. And you're feeling a little wounded, like maybe you just keep trying something one way and it doesn't work out and you got to try it another way, and you're just like, you're tired, you need rest. For some of you, we were talking about a vacation earlier, possibly like a retreat or some kind of spiritual cleansing that would be good for you. Some of you have already done that because we pulled cleansing in reverse. For those of you that don't know your person, wow, we have strength. For those of you that don't know your person, it has been a real battle of strength. You have gone through some tremendous things to be in the position to even consider believing in love again. Something has broken you down and you have risen up. You have proven your worth. You have become a strong figure for yourself and others. And you have Spirit right here protecting you, right? You're very strong, and you're very, some of you I'm sensing you're very protective, and you want to protect this divine feminine archetype, right? For some of you, it could be a same-sex relationship for some of you. Now, what does Spirit have to say? Oh, wow. Okay, so over death from Spirit, we have the well. You all have the potential to create infinite possibilities here. You all have the ability to create worlds with your love. I don't know where that's Spirit saying that. So you have great potential here. You have, this is like Magician 2.0, right? Or this is like also Empress 2.0. You're already super nurturing. You're already totally capable of creating something amazing here. All right, I'd like to kind of look into, we'll say group 1, and then we'll come back to group 2, okay? All right, so what else can we get into with this Nine of Wands? I mean, other than some of you taking a vacation if you can, or just taking a couple days to have self-care. Remember that Ace of Cups is also a blessing of love for yourself, right? Right. So how can we help the weary ones who know who their person is? The Star. Well, healing. Hello. Spirit's being quite blunt about it. Like, you need some healing. You need to rest. You need to figure out how to get your shine back. And for some of you, you want to bring this to your Queen of Cups, I'm sensing, right? For some of you, now I'm getting a download. Excuse me. For some of you, the person that you know is like your star, and they've been through a lot. They are the Nine of Wands and the Star and the Queen of Cups. And you want to be there for this person. For those of you that is the truth, and it's not about your healing or your wounds, what can we say? Eight of Cups. Usually this is about walking away from something, especially something emotionally. But in this particular card, it's like someone's already on the journey, somebody's already walked away from something, and they're looking at how far they have to go. What else can you tell us about this, Spirit? Eight of Swords. Yeah, some of you are getting caught up in your head about this, like you keep, for some of you, you keep getting caught in your head and you keep wanting to walk away before it even begins. I'm getting that for some of you. For others of you, I feel like this Queen of Cups that is healing had to walk away from something that made them mentally suffer. Right? If they're the Queen of Cups, they're already a very nurturing, loving, kind person. And they were wounded. They were hurt. They had to walk away from something that was destroying their well-being. For those of you that this is about, we'll say the person that you admire, the Fool. This is a new beginning for them. This is a new adventure, so their new beginning does match your Ace of Wands or your Ace of Cups. It seems you want to offer, for some of you, I'm hearing a new beginning to this person. How exactly does that group intend to create a new beginning for this Queen of Cups that has been through a lot? Wow, the Queen of Wands. You want to treat them like the beautiful baddie that they are. You want to remind them of their worth, of their value. You want to lift them up. You want to see them succeed. For some of you, it seems like you've really seen what this person has been through, and you want to see them shine. You want to see them be loving life again, I'm hearing. For those of this group, and by the way, that's beautiful. If you are that person, please or, you know, people, drop in the comments your story if you feel like sharing. That's just wonderful. There aren't a lot of people out there who can do this kind of work and then see that same value in another. For some of you, this is your Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Star. Like, this is somebody that you find very attractive, you find very loving, you look at as if they are a star. Whoops. Or for some of you, you can see that they're almost embodying this and you want to do something for them to help them get there. For some of you, actually, what is it that you want to do for this person that you think will elevate them in this way? Wow, the King of Pentacles. Well, you want to be a protector, you want to be a provider, you want to come in with some kind of stability, and this could also be part of the Ace of Pentacles. And you already got this energy earlier, so I'm talking to I'm sensing strongly divine masculines here who have accomplished some kind of status in life, and you want to lift this person up. Perhaps you want to help them become more stable themselves. But again, remember that they have to want to do that work themselves, but it seems like that they've already walked away from things that were not for their highest and greatest good. It looks like they have healed. So you seem to know this somehow. All right, so how exactly do you plan on offering this to this person? Six of Pentacles, by being generous, perhaps offering something to them. Could be just something like equal give and take, could be some kind of collaboration or partnership, could be bringing them into the fold of a group and including them, which will elevate them. Could be, for some of you, I'm hearing it could be a work opportunity. For some of you, this could be about friendship, this could be about you see the potential in another person, and it doesn't have to do with love, but you have a lot of love to give and you want to offer a leg up. I'm hearing for some of you, it's not about love. That's just a side message that you're a very generous person who is in a position of power and you want to do good, you want to give back, and you have a way to do it. And it's going to create balance and harmony in this person's life. So I'm not going to go into specifics of how that's going to be offered. That's, again, going into like personal readings. We did get the Five of Wands though. So for some of you, you want to offer something that's very competitive to this. Possibly it's a work opportunity, especially with the King of Pentacles. It could be you're a boss and you're looking for somebody to lead your team or something like that, or run your company, or do something. I'm not going to go too deep into that. But for others of you, I got a little side message that there's some people that want to fight you on this. Wow, Ace of Wands, but you don't care. You're like, no, this is my divine inspiration to do this. Spirit is telling me to lead with passion. They are telling me to go for this. They are telling me that this is where I'm supposed to shine. Perhaps your generosity and seeing somebody else succeed because of that will give you a passionate new beginning. I don't know how that's for somebody. But that's two Ace of Wands we had. And wow, okay, well, we have the Magician. So you're totally capable of doing this. You have everything you need to be able to make this happen for somebody. And again, this could be applied to work. This could be a friend. This could be about a relationship. So we'll veer back into the other energies. One moment. Just gonna get some tea. How y'all enjoying the journey? You liking it? It's cool. Cool. Thanks for being here. All right. So let's get back into this. There was another part of you that the group here that is kind of getting stuck up in your head, and you keep going to make a move, and then you convince yourself out of it, it seems, with the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Cups. You just keep turning around, or you don't make the move. Like, is there anything particular, Spirit, that you can identify could be a block for a majority of these folks? Wow. King of Cups, expressing your emotions. I feel for some of you, it's about actually just expressing your love. Finally deciding to show who you are, because remember, we got the King of Cups earlier. So, like, also, this is making the choice to be a divine counterpart, to have your happily ever after. Do you actually want it? Do you want that? Look at that. He's looking at her like, wow. Can you just, like, stop? She's like, huh? What do you mean? I'm just over here looking gorgeous and ethereal, and you get the point. Okay. Like, they're a pair, and you know who your person is, because this is for the group that knows who, and I hate saying that term, your person, but this is feeling a little more intimate. Usually the longer the reading goes, the less people are in it. And also, by the way, if you're considering joining my Patreon community when I get it up and running, I'm currently adding a ton of different stuff to the library to make sure I have content on there for y'all. So, you know, I'll announce it when it gets closer. But for those of you that want a smaller collective read, which means less energies that I'm tapping into, definitely consider joining my Patreon when I get it launched, because I'll be tapping into Patreon specific members only in separate readings, okay? Anyways, I'm excited if you're able to join over there too. So, we're talking about, it seems like for some of you, it's just a matter of making the final decision to express your love to this person. Is there any advice we can give to those that are having trouble making the move? What can we say that will help them get out of this block? Judgment. Wow. I just heard, wake up. For some of you, wake up. You're not in a dream. You're not in a dream. I'm getting a download. Some of you think that this isn't real. Some of you think that it's not possible. It's like too good to be true. Or you're not using your wise judgment, that you're going to make a mistake, that you're going to screw everything up. Wow, okay. A lot of you have done the work, but you still have some, you know, I'm picking up childhood wounding as far as the sabotage goes. Some of you still go in cycles and convince yourself out of things, but you've overcome so much. Like, I think it more just has to do with the personal dynamics, because if you can go after what you want with a career, with your self-development, then it's really more about how other people view you versus what you know you're capable of. So perhaps stop focusing so much on how other people are going to judge you, right? And focus on everything you've overcome to become the person you are. Because the person that's for you, that's also a match. You know the person's a match. We got the King and Queen of Cups, right? We got the King and Queen of Pentacles. Eight of Wands, it's time to move. Giddy up, cowboy. Let's go. Right there. It's time to move. Life will pass you by if you don't charge after it. And that doesn't, you've already been going slow towards this. For some of you, you've already like been at this for a while, getting your life ready to have this kind of relationship. It just seems like you need to decide that you are actually ready to give it a try. You have to be vulnerable. You have to actually do the deed of giving your cup of love, you know? Don't get all in the gutter there. I caught that humor. Anyway. So, you know, I don't know what else to really tell you. Let's see if Spirit has anything else to say about that. Five of Swords. Again, mental conflict. For some of you, you are You're thinking about things that people have said to you that trip you up. Okay, perhaps it's the way you speak to yourself. Perhaps it's the way that other people have sabotaged you in the past mentally. And you got to remember everything you've overcome. I feel like we had the Ten of Swords somewhere or something. Yeah, we had the Ten of Swords. You're out of betrayal. Anybody who ever made you feel like that and get caught up in your head is no longer a part of your circle, it seems. In fact, earlier we were talking about how you were ready to collaborate. Some of you have been in hermit mode. Some of you are looking for your soul family, and you don't need to be thinking about the past anymore. You just need to decide that you're moving forward here with the Eight of Wands. Like, some of you are just sitting on it. You got to ask yourself, if I was in the other person's shoes and I knew that they were a match, and I knew that they wouldn't go for it, would you consider? Would you take them seriously? I get the feeling that you're both very psychic, intuitive people who know a little bit more than you let on. And really, it doesn't seem like it's about the other people, it's about you. It doesn't matter what other people have said in the past. Do you want to go for it? Do you actually want your happily ever after? We talked about this in another reading a few back. I want to say it was a passionate love story in the making. I always link the last few readings in the description box, and you can also check out the Divine With Me playlist, which has all of the short and long form tarot quests and oracle readings, some channeled messages as well. But we talked about you going after, if this is the same energy, which I'm feeling it is for some of you, have been following along for the last couple months, and it seems like you want to be convinced or you want hard evidence. But if you're a psychic, intuitive person, or you know what you know and you like what you like, then ask yourself why you aren't letting yourself have it. Because you're the only one who's saying you don't want your new happily new ever after beginning, whatever you want to call it. That was messy. It feels messy. It's like, it could be an old habit to self-sabotage, and the longer you wait, you can put yourself in a new karmic cycle of waiting, and then other things in your life will start to represent that energetically. So be careful. Remember that if the way it works with blessings is Spirit will offer you something, then they'll give you judgment. They'll see, what are you going to do with this, right? What choice are you going to make? You have free will. You're going, oh, okay, well, I have this amazing opportunity, but do I want it? And once you figure out if you want it, you have to actually go for it, just like the rest of the things in your life. And if you're coming from a past of having prioritized your own desires over another person, then perhaps that's some shadow work to do, is the lack mindset for some of you. We had that earlier with the Five of Pentacles. If you're still here, it's kind of like looking at, like, what are you looking at it like you have to lose instead of what you have to gain. Also, some of you might already be in connection with this person. I'm not going to tap into it, but I feel like for some of you, you have a sense of who this person is, and you know they're compatible. Again, we had the divine counterparts across the board. So if you are telling the divine that you don't want something, it's like, here's a simpler scenario, right? You buy a bunch of lush produce to cook these amazing meals, and like, perhaps you were going to go to the store and you were just going to buy something simple, just the same old, but you got, say, an extra tip at work or something, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to treat myself. I've been given this blessing of these extra resources that I hadn't planned on having. I'm going to go all out. I'm going to make like a chef's kiss kind of amazing meal, right? So you go to the store, you get all the ingredients, take it home, you go, wow, I'm so grateful, because you're probably a spiritual person who's semi-emotional, whether you show that or not, because the King of Cups. and you're like, wow, this is amazing. Like, I can't wait to cook all this. But you go, you know, I'm just going to wait though. I'm just going to have Taco Tuesday tonight. You know what I mean? And that's all good, but then another day goes by and you're like, I could have what I really want, which is this gourmet meal with this lush produce. But you know, I think I'm just going to go for, I don't know, Taco Wednesday, right? The Four of Wands. How do you want to celebrate? Do you want to just keep Groundhog Daying your life? Or do you actually want to invite the element of surprise into your life? Because eventually what happens is that produce or whatever it is you're cooking with is gone. It disintegrates. It goes away. And then perhaps Spirit doesn't give you that blessing again. And I'm not saying anybody's not going to have the money to do that or anything. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you don't appreciate what's being offered to you and you keep wasting it, essentially, you're giving the universe the signal that you don't deserve it, you don't desire it, you don't want it, you're not grateful for it, so it's not going to be offered to you again. So we mentioned in a previous reading that if you sit on something, you're the only one that's deciding that you don't get to have it. You can convince yourself that a person is XYZ or an opportunity is XYZ and go into hermit mode here, right? Close yourself off and go away. Not try, just focus on your work. And if you want that, if you just want to be by yourself and you don't want to have a relationship and you want to be independent and just focus on doing the work and you've dedicated yourself to that, then that's just the decision you've made. Then it's time to make peace with your decision and let love go. And just put that love into yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you haven't, you know, made a move towards or communicated with this person in any way, you totally have that option. And possibly, oh, I'm getting a download. That's what it is. It's having the option. It's having an exit plan I just got. Wow, okay. I'm not judging. Some of you, it's just that you need to know you have freedom. And you know what, though? If this person is a match to you, they probably understand that. And you know what solves a lot of these questions and wonderings? A conversation. Two of Swords, making a freaking decision to communicate, not blocking it, right? Making a decision to go for it. Or you can sit there and say, no, I'm good over here. Then that's the decision you make. So make peace with it, if that's what you want. But at a certain point, opportunities will not be available to you anymore. And you've done the work. You totally freaking deserve this. Let me pull something. Spirit, can we give... I've given you the tough love. I don't want to be like mean, but okay, Three of Pentacles. Collaboration, right? You're collaborating with Spirit. You have friends that you can talk to about this, or you have ways that you can have conversations. Possibly for some of you, you need a friend to help you introduce yourself. I'm hearing for some of you, hence the third party situation. And you see, they're all kind of sitting together. For those of you that can see the video version, they're all like making plans, they're going over it, and it seems like the one in the middle is kind of the builder and the others are like giving their feedback. For some of you, this is Spirit. This is you conferring with your spiritual team, your ancestors, paying attention to signs and synchronicities and getting confirmations. And also that sculpture at the top kind of reminds me of Judgment. So it's like Spirit's giving you resources, or they're giving you the potential to work this out, to come together, to collaborate. I just got another download. For some of you, your intro is through a collaboration, is by offering some kind of collaboration. Again, you know, people you work with, it depends on your personal values, ethics, morals, and policies, depending on where and how you work, as to whether that's appropriate. For some of you, it is. For some of you, this could be a way that possibly you want to also work with this person. That could go back to the person that wants to offer something, but it's not romance. It's possible you're trying to figure out how to help this person. It could be through a work collaboration. That was for some. No, I just saw Ace of Swords and then the Two of Cups. I mean, geez Louise. It's telling you this is the truth, and look what it just split on again. Ace of Pentacles. This is an opportunity. This is a divine blessing. This is the world. Closing of cycles, right? This is a new chapter. This is everything. And also below that, look at that. This is your Ten of Cups. It's possible you could find love with another person down the road, and it's also very possible, but also very not, that this person will still be available down the road. But it's not fair to energetically tie things up if you don't have any actual intention of going forward on something. Because then you're, even if you haven't spoken to this person, there's like an energy that's put out into the ethers that, look into that. Look into that if you're spiritual. I'm not going to go more into that. That's very 5D, and I think we're sticking with a more practical message today. All right, so Spirit's given you a couple ideas. What you do is up to you, and I hope you go for it, because this seems like real love. Ten of Cups again, twice. Ace of Pentacles twice. Ace of Wands twice. Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups. You even have the Ten of Pentacles. Like, you have it all. And a conversation easily answers a lot of your questions. So, like, you just got to decide if you're willing to give up that control, it seems. For some of you, it is about, you feel like you might lose your autonomy. And if you really feel that way about this person in your heart of hearts, then they're not your person, or you're not the person for them, and that's okay. But Spirit's telling you that you are. This is your person. King and Queen of Cups, Ten of Cups, and look, we have the Knight of Wands. Giddy up. Let's go. You're ready for this. You know you want this. And if anybody has realized that they don't want this by this reading, well then, I'm so glad you got clarity. It's better to have clarity before you go in. Right? Alright, so I feel like this group over here that, like, doesn't know who their person are, like, I hate to give you the short end of the stick, but this reading has gone on for a really long time. So I'm just going to pull, like, 2 cards, and then we're going to conclude this. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate everyone. The Lovers. Union. Okay, so this could be union with yourself. Those of you that don't have this love yet, you're looking for your ultimate divine union. You want somebody who is the choice, not the option, right? What can we tell this group over here who don't know who their people are? Can you give us some kind of clue as to where they can start having an open mind, as to maybe where can they go to that they could find this divine love? Give us an idea here, Spirit. The Nine of Pentacles. Well, some kind of singles event I'm hearing for some of you, because Nine of Pentacles represents the single independent person, right? Some kind of singles. I don't know. I'm hearing speed dating for some of you. For others of you, possibly doing something in your community, giving back, showing up, possibly some kind of charity, or I don't know, some kind of religious affiliation, doing something together in a group. For others of you, it could be doing something in nature with a group of people. Doing something here where a bunch of people can get together and kind of mingle, really. So that's for some of you. Start looking at singles events. Wow, I just heard for a very, very small group of you, some of you need to become single. Okay. I'm not judging, I'm not going to go into it, but Spirit's like, yeah, so you know what you need to do next if you're not happy, and perhaps you're more at the beginning of this journey we were talking earlier. Wow, King of Wands. You're very passionate. You're very ready to go. You are a leader. You're very attractive for some of you. Some of you have lived the singles life for a long time, and you've mastered some skills, and you know what you're doing. Well, we'll just put it that way. Okay. All right. So I'm starting to lose my voice. You'll have to pardon me. I've been getting over a cold the last couple weeks, so I'm about tapped out with y'all. So let's see. All right, King of Wands. What else? What's another idea for some of you where you could potentially meet the love of your life, we'll say. Let's make it a little fun. The Three of Cups, some kind of celebration with others, maybe a party, a gathering, a wedding, an event. So, you know, get out and mingle. So it sounds like you just need to get out and socialize, really. And if you're the King of Wands, you got outlets to socialize. The Hangman. Whoa. Hello. Some of you don't want to think on this anymore. You're ready to go. There's nothing else to think about. All right, and some of you need to take a pause until you are available to date for that small group, and I think you know this. I don't really think that's a surprise. Now, real quick, Spirit, what can you tell us both these groups? What advice do you have? Three of Swords, heartbreak. I'm hearing very clearly, let go of the pains of the past if you want to step into the future. You are no longer in your past. Well, for those of you that haven't left situations, you might be, but you're going to overcome it, okay? For those of you that are ready for this, you're good. You're golden. Like, it's time to not assume the worst of everybody and start assuming the best, right? Manifest the kind of relationship paradigm that you want, okay? For those of you that are going through heartbreak, a real quick last note on how Spirit can be there for you. Let's see. Justice. Well, it's about fairness, equality, and finding balance. And for some of you, it's just about doing what's right. For each different situation, you're going to know what that is. And I hope you figure it out, okay? If you need a personal reading, let me know. Email me or book with me. All right? So one last closing message, Spirit. Also, if you would like to check out any of the channeled messages, angel numbers, animals that could be synchronicities, on the community post, I will share a picture of my notebook. And for those of you that were quite annoyed with my chicken scratch, I've improved my handwriting just for you. Wow. Okay. Page of Cups just came flying out with the Ace of Pentacles underneath. So it's like, give your cup of love. It's time. You're ready. This is a blessing from Spirit. So for anybody who was looking for confirmation, one last bit, give your cup of love. It's time. And for some of you, it's possible you need to apologize for something. And that could be one reason why you're hesitant to offer this. So, you know, you got to forgive yourself before you ever can really fully move forward, whatever that means for you. Okay? Possibly it's just about forgiving yourself from ways you have acted in the past. And also not expecting this person, who by the way is a divine match, to be somebody that's going to bring old habits out that you would have to feel like you were in a cycle of constantly apologizing. I just heard. Wow, I was going to conclude this one last, the Devil. This is not only about ending those toxic cycles and limiting beliefs and harmful behaviors. This is also about mastery of self and not letting materialism ruin the chance to have a beautiful life with somebody else. It's your choice, right? Okay. Wow, the Tower. This is a Tower moment for you. So you can go with it, or it can all crash and burn. Not literally, okay? It's just the Tower card, obviously. This is a huge change and transformation, and you're ready for it, otherwise Spirit would not be giving it. And what is this? I feel like this is the High Priestess. You know. You freaking know. That's the second time we got the High Priestess. You know what this is. And Spirit is empowering you. You're going to make it through, and it's going to be some of the best days of your life if you decide to go for it. Either way, you're probably going to have the best days of your life because you have created a beautiful foundation for yourself. All right? I hope that helps. I appreciate everybody, and till next time, whenever I'm divinely guided to bring a message, I hope you all have a wonderful week. This is Ellie, signing off.